Welcome back everyone to episode 10 of our Let's Play Series 2 with some modded Minecraft. And you join me at the top of the tower that I've fashioned. Not 100% happy, but it's at least a relatively decorative area that we're going to be using for our Astral sorcery base. Let's head downstairs actually before we construct the altar area, just so everyone can see it from the outside. So, relatively simple structure, just a circular tower, some designs in basalt and marble from chisel around the edge. I'm going to replace the torches with glowstone or some other light form. Just at the moment I just need to stop things from spawning on it. And a 3 splayed out stone device to make it look like there's some kind of balance to the large platform, and we'll soften the edges with inverted stairs and the like at a later point, but for now function is all we need. We'll get with prettifying gradually. So we need to place our altar structure down. So the luminous crafting table is used and will be surrounded by a fair bit of marble of varying types, which we have pre-prepared in our inventory here. And this will allow us to upgrade it to the second tier and start to get access to some of the more interesting items and tools as part of it. So just finish placing all of this down. And then we can, I'm gonna have to wait till nightfall in order to have enough luminous energy, which is just past midday, so it'll be about alright. Won't be too long to wait at least. So all of this goes down. We're going to need to check the light level on the actual crafting area itself, because I've got a feeling those torches down there are not going to be sufficient. We've left extra space because as we tier up from this one, it will come out to this far corner. So just want to make sure that we have enough space to expand into as we go. So yeah, as I thought, the torch is not quite sufficient. I wonder if they would be if I put them one higher. Yes. So we'll just move those up for now. We will have better homes for it all when we actually have the final tier. There's not much point in investing too heavily in decoration when this is literally just a means to an end. So is it that way around? Yes, liquid starlight, rock crystal, 4 marble pillars and 2 chisel blocks. Yeah, that should be everything. But won't be able to do anything with it yet because it is far too bright. Sun needs to set. So while we wait for that, we're going to go and do another aspect of integrated dynamics that we kind of half started last time with the crusher. And we want to finish up. We need to build ourselves drying basin. So this is going to take some form of black dye, 2 ingots and 5 bits of wood. We've got plenty of wood and iron. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, I have an ink sack. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, it's a prism crystal. crystals don't go in there yet. In fact, let's give them a home then. So the drying basin goes next to our squeezer, and you take the items to put in the squeezer that have the liquid in them, in this case the mineral wood, crush it down, and the fluid will automatically be output into the drying basin. You can see the channels on the side of the squeezer as to which direction the fluids will go. If you have one on each side, it would half fill, but obviously that means that you can have something in one, place the second one down, start doing it, and you're not having to wait around for things to dry off. So this gets you more of the crystallized mineral, which is used in basically all of the machines related to integrated dynamics, either in its block form for things like the variable store in the energy battery, or in its the chunk form to create cables and tools and the cards that are used to form the programs and the like. And we'll get into some more of that later as a gradual thing. It's quite good for small scale inventory management, which we're progressing past already, so it won't be used in that form, but it can very easily take items from place to place and just help with automation, as well as doing things like reading states. So having the ability to read where the redstone signal is coming in and at what strength, how many items are in something, how many stacks of things are in something, whether a certain type of item is present, or all manner of other things. So that can be used to automate a great deal. I'm not very well versed in it, but it is one that I've included in this pack because I want to get more practice with it. So we will play around with that in good time. Right, we are now at night time, and so we should be able to get ourselves upstairs. And able to use our workbench, or the Astral crafting bench. Should now have more than enough light. Yep, so you can see that the bar is completely full, there's plenty of light up here, and we can now craft that. So we give the crafting table a whack with the resonating wand, simple right click, we get a nice pretty light show. Some really cool sound effects. And pop up to the next level. So we get the advancement. We can take our bucket back. So you can see now that the light level here, just coming up to midnight, it's just over halfway. So there's still a fair bit of this bar that isn't able to be filled. We can do something about that. We can make this have access to more starlight, and that's something that we will be doing with something from the previous level, the exploration level, these spectral relays, by making some of those and putting them around here, which we will do kind of like overlapping the corner of this but elevated up 3 blocks or so, and we'll put them at put 8 around it. That will very easily cover us for the amount of light we're going to need. So let's have a look at what the Astral Tome has now opened up to us with the attunement stage, because this is where some of the things get really fun. We can now finish the telescope. We could make a looking glass before, but we couldn't actually make a telescope, and this will let us look to see the various constellations, so we can find out more about them. You can double click and it does load in. Excellent. That's something that didn't used to happen. And that will then let us make attunement altar, which is a very, very large area that we're not going to try and put up here. It doesn't need as much light. It does need complete access to direct light, so it will be down here a few blocks away, so that when we put the edging around here, and with the other parts that are going to be the relays won't overlook it, but that will then let us attune ourselves to the various constellations for various different types of effects. So I think the next stage is going to be make the looking glass, make the telescope, learn about the constellations which are up there. You can see some of the flashing stars. That shows that some of the constellations are visible, and they vary. The major ones are always visible, and then some of the others only come out at certain times. Clouds do not help. Raining actually does impede the ability to see the constellations, so that is going to be something that we're going to have to bear in mind. So I'll between sessions get the telescope in place. I won't do any of the aspects for research with it, but I'll go through the crafting off camera for that. So what's the next stage that we want to do on camera? I think it's going to be getting thermoelectric stuff hooked up, which we're going to need some lava for, so let's just quickly go and get that. The steel's been running off camera for quite a while. I'll just sat and let that process up. So we've now got access to the steel that we need. I've made a fairly substantial dent in the amount of lava and obsidian down here. That was all while I was harvesting the basalt, which is like 3 stacks in that building. Quite a bit has gone into that. Put the chisel away, I don't need that for now. Right, so what we need to get is the steel out of here. We only need 3 pieces of that for now. We do need 5 pieces of the Constantan. And we need the engineer's hammer to turn them into plates. Okay. Then we need copper coil blocks, so that's... let's bring those then. So 4 plates and 4 wires. It's 8, isn't it, that I need? Because that's just half of it, yes. Does help if I can learn to count at some point. And remember each of the crafting iterations. I will be very glad when we have refined storage up and running and I don't have to try and remember all of the crafting iterations and can just tell a machine to do it for me. There we go. So there's our thermoelectric generator. Now this creates power by exploiting the difference in temperature between 2 levels, two items on either side of it. It's got 4 faces that can be harvested from, so you can have, if if I just place it in the world, you can have something hot here, and something cold here, something hot here, and something cold here, and that will then generate energy based on both both checks. Right, so I think we're going to want to put our energy creation somewhere under here. Yeah, let's just create ourselves our basement for power production under here. And we're going to just use lava and water to start with. We can sub out for some warmer things and colder things at a later point when we've got easier access to them. So that can be things like uranium, which we've got a few blocks of, but we don't have enough to create a full block. So thermoelectric generator, and then here and here, and we want to put lava down in one, water down in the other, and that will start to generate RF at that point. And we can obviously tile these as well, so if we have lava here and water here, if we put another thermoelectric generator here, we don't need to put the water down here and here. So this will create our power. I'm going to get myself another battery just to act as medium and place that up there. So join me in a second when we have that in place, and then we're going to look at getting the refined storage controller up and running. We've got access to, I think, basically everything we need for that, so that will be our next thing, and see if we can finish the episode with that. So back in a moment. Okay, so got myself situated. I made myself a second thermoelectric generator, so I realised that the amount of power that I'm going to need, probably going to need both of those. I've put the LV capacitor down up there with single output side, and we will run cables off there to our basic machines that will go down here to start with. The most important of which is going to be our controller, which is actually probably going to go in the other room, which can't go through there because of the stairs. Let's make it go through there. So we'll put cabling so it comes across here to a couple of relays, in order to probably just one relay here, yeah, and then another relay here, another relay at the edge. Oh yeah, this being stairs is going to be that's going to be slightly awkward. What about designing on the fly here? Wooden wall mounts, 3 planks and a stick. What does that look like for just stick the rest of those in there. Let's take some of those. So what we're going to have will be the output part there. Relay here will be a connector on the machine there. Relay here. What happens if I put that? No. While I can do it, looks wrong. Gotcha. How to get that through? Looking okay. I mean, that doesn't look terrible, I guess. Might turn that into just a whole spruce plank instead. Let's do that. So that comes off. That goes in place. And then the relay can attach to that. No, it doesn't look too bad. We'll no, upside down, please. Do that. Okay, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And then that relay will be enough to take us to the controller, which is just going to be off to the side over here, I think. So I don't want it just glaring in the middle, because all this is going to be taken out when putting things in. Okay, yeah. So we need some quartz enriched iron, which is just iron combined with nether quartz, nice and simple. We need silicon, which is smelted quartz or crushed sand. We can't get a crusher just yet. That's a few steps up the mechanism chain. So let's get some quartz smelting up. We're going to need 4 pieces for this. We'll need some more later, but we'll just get the bit that we need for now. Smelt up some more cobble. Oh, we're going to need 8 more quartz iron for that, so that's 12 total for the... Just 1 of that. 3 bits of quartz. Gets us that. Machine casing. Right, now this is a diamond piece of redstone and a process binding, which is any form of slime and 2 bits of string. We've got blue slime somewhere. Might not put that away yet. Nope. I have found a home for that. So that, to get the process binding, I guess it's a bit, which is quite nice. Also a piece of redstone as well. So as soon as we get the silicon, we can now make our raw advanced processor. That will smelt into the refined processor. There we go. And then move all of those items together to make our controller. And this will simply be the hub. You only need 1 per network. Is that torch going to get in the way? No, good, right. So many times I've done stuff like this, and of course I need 1 more wire. Of course I do. For 1 stick, we're going to need more tough fabric. Combine all those together. Put those away. Put that away. Don't need that anymore. And then hook up this final part. Boom. So the energy will start draining out of there and into the controller. Now at the moment it's got absolutely nothing attached to it. This is essentially just a decorative box that lights up and consumes power for the privilege of doing so. However, when we attach some grids and some, if we attach a external storage cable to our drawer controller, we will be able to access everything in all the drawers through the grids that we attach. So we want to have a crafting grid for preference, because it means we can actually just craft within it. And these are going to probably be cabled into here, come up through this part here, so I can do all of my operating straight from this. But that is going to be a job for next time. I will work on getting all the bits and pieces together. I'll count up how much quartz I'm going to need to smelt up, maybe go to the nether and get myself some more, and work on refining those side of things, and then we'll come back next time, get it all assembled and get it in place. There'll then be the joy of also trying to get it over to our Astral base over here, which, you know, bit of a distance, but we don't necessarily need to lay cables. More on that next time. So thank you very much for joining us, and I will see you next time.